Hey folks, what is going on? It's your boy Southpaw Brad here with another episode of New Comic Book Day pickups. Um, got some good stuff today. So this is the first. This is actually like the first week I really saw. Well, I won't say I saw a benefit. I definitely saw a benefit to. I've enjoyed the last couple of weeks having a pull list at my LCS. And this week in particular, I would say, I guess it paid off at a little bigger. I got some variant covers that maybe I would not have gotten if I hadn't been on top of things. So that was really kind of nice. So um, I've got some books to share. And you know what? I realized this is my first. This is actually my first video since the new comic book day haul from last Wednesday. So I haven't even had a chance to do, get into this stuff here. Our translucent venom is on top of things like guarding those, keeping an eye on them, and so I'm appreciative to have him on the lookout for me. So, all right, let's jump in here. I've got some good stuff, I think. So this is a run that I am going to check out. I'm going to see it through, see where it goes. This is Star Wars: The High Republic, Eye of the Storm, and this is issue 2. And really neat cover. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if we can pinpoint who did. Cover artist Ryan Brown. Let me make sure that's. Oh, that's on the regular. Yeah. All right. So this is the regular cover. Cover artist Ryan Brown. So yeah, I like that. That's cool. And that is Marcion Rowe, I believe. In the on the cover there. I can actually double check that real quick. Let's see. Let's do a quick trusty little search here and just make sure. Yeah, so issue 1 of this Eye of the Storm is the origin of Marcion Rowe, and issue 2 just has a dope cover. So yeah, that's cool. I also got the variant cover, which I like. Also Marcion Rowe. This is Phil Noto cover. So I like that one as well. That one's nice. I've got one store that typically will mark up. If it's a variant, it's instantly $5 to $10 more, or not more. $5 to $10 is the cover price, or is the price. But I've got the where my pull list is. They don't do that, so I was able to just grab this right off the right off the rack. So that was cool. This is another one. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know. I think I read the first issue. I've kind of just been stacking these since just to I think I'm enjoying reading these in chunks instead of waiting a month for each waiting a month for each one. So I some fairly dope covers on this one. Avengers Forever #3. Now they somebody had mentioned this previously, and it definitely like they were supposed to have Captain Carter. Now she does make a cover appearance on issue 1, but we were supposed to have Captain Carter in this run, and I don't know, maybe so next week is the Captain Carter solo, which would actually be her first appearance, is happening next week. So I know some folks were worried. Well, once they started doing all these, and there's some really cool. The cover A on that Captain Carter is solid. It's a good looking cover. I do like that one. But they were telling us all along it was going to happen, and hey, Avengers Forever, Captain Carter's going to be in that. But and I don't know where exactly I heard that. But another one I picked up was Amazing Spider-Man 91. Gosh, they're almost at 900 issues. But I guess when you put, I don't know is this like, so I'm not sure. I think this is coming out every week or every 2 weeks, something crazy like that. No wonder, yeah, because I think the last issue I bought 88, of course, because that was Queen Goblin. But then, and then they had, I bought 89, but somewhere along the way I missed 90. And I don't know, man. It's hard to keep up with when they come out at that pace. You certainly better make sure that the story is solid, if you're gonna put out books. And I think they're kind of turning a corner on it, but I think they're getting there. Another one, this was, well, just a, this was Black Panther #4. I just noticed it's got a little crinkle there, a little. I didn't have much choice. There were like two copies, and I think this was the better of the two, unfortunately. So, um, at any rate, I don't know. So apparently, Tosin is not in this book, so there's no need to rush to. There's no need to rush to scoop this one up because Tosin is not in this. He will be in issue 5, and of course, he's going to make a cover appearance in the reprint of issue 3, which is probably going to be so incredibly. The print run is going to be so incredibly high. I can't imagine it won't be. But I still got a few copies because I just, you got to have the first cover appearance. Another one this one I'm kind of intrigued with. This is Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. And apparently we've got a Craven. Yeah, we got Craven on the cover here. I was just kind of flipping through. Yeah, sure enough. I don't know how that if it's actually, well, if it's actually him or if it's one of his offspring or what. But that was kind of neat. Chip Zdarsky is still doing his thing over on Daredevil, so that's cool. Up next, this is one I've been pulling. I'm a couple of issues behind on my reading, but I am super excited about this one, and I have been enjoying it. So this has been a good one so far. Moon Knight #9. I think the only other cover, or at least the only other cover that I saw, was the Carnage variant. I wasn't interested in that one, so I just went with the standard cover A on that one. Like I said, I'm a couple of issues behind on the reading, so I've got a little catching up to do. I wanted to also grab Miles Morales 35. I don't know. It just kind of spoke to me, so I grabbed it. No particular reason, I don't think. There's something building in Miles Morales. I'll have to go back. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about an upcoming issue, and I need to go back and find what that was exactly that I need to be looking for in future issues of Miles Morales. This was really, really intriguing. I was super excited about this one just because the next couple, there's some banger covers on these next couple of books. So this is cover A. This is Strange #1, cover A. You know, cool enough in its own right, certainly. And who did? Let's see. Bjorn Barons. No wonder. He's good. He's good on a lot of stuff. He's been kicking some butt in Spawn. Bjorn Barons. How about that? So that's cool. That's Clea as the Sorcerer Supreme. So she's apparently taken over that mantle. I didn't read the Death of Doctor Strange stuff, so I'll give this a look. I bought that one because I like that cover. Then I jumped on. Let's see. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant. Awesome. It's like a all right. We just next leveled it. We just went up. That he crushed this one. I love that one. The colors, everything. That is dope. She's doing her best Wanda impersonation there, going through the books there. But that one was really cool. I really like this one a lot. And then step it up perhaps another notch, maybe. We've got Strange #1, and this is the Art Germ. Now, this is not. There is a ridiculous 1 in 200 Art Germ variant for this one. I was well, there's no place around me that would buy enough to get that, but I did put in. So this is one of the books I put in for ahead of time to see if my LCS could pull it off, and I'll be darned if they didn't do a fine job. This one I really like, so I think this is actually my favorite of the 3. That's just sick, man. That is so good. And it's I think this is the only one I saw. Now I don't know that other people may have probably pulled it as well. Hey, pick me up a copy of that. But and this wasn't. It's not an incentive variant, but I just think it's going to be one of those that's it's cool, it's appealing. That one and the J. Scott Campbell are going to be really cool, really appealing covers for that book, assuming that the story is good. So up next, I'm going to get sucked down this rabbit hole. I'm sure as we go through this little. I don't know. There's going to be like 4 or 5 different. There's going to be 4 or 5 different what ifs. But what if Miles Morales became Captain America? This is another one I got them to get me ahead of time just so I could get a copy. And there were a couple of covers that I wanted, so I liked this one, which is this is a variant. I didn't really like the cover A on this one. It was a little, I don't know. I didn't like that. I think that's one of the cover A's. That's the cover A, I think, there. I didn't care for that as much as I did this one. So that'll be a cool read, I would imagine. Should be a lot of fun. So the other test. Hey, Damien, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. I am just going over my new comic book day pickup. So I hope you had a good new comic book day, my friend. So good to see you, as always. This was a cover that I asked for ahead of time so I could get it. I really liked this one. I do have a couple of copies of that Miles with the shield, the Captain America shield. So I really like this one. Now this cover is, unless I'm missing it, I don't. That's a Delgado cover. So I kind of thought that was cool. Like that one. So those two were my favorites um, on that front. Now I also picked up some back issues. I've been going kind of nuts over this Star Wars High Republic stuff, and wanted to get a couple of these back issues. I've got, let's see, pulled up somewhere. There. All right. So I picked up. I went through because I know this stuff is starting to sell out. It's starting to. It's been sitting around for a while, and you got to grab it when you see it now. And if you want to like get out in front of some of these, some of these characters that they're going to be introducing in the show, in this Star Wars: The High Republic show, you got to get out in front of it and really kind of, stack some of these characters, so you don't miss out. But this one was interesting, and I had not noticed it before, but this was in like current back issues. So this is High Republic number 7, and this is the second print. Now number 7 has been going for, it's really been spiking in price. It's, I've seen those sell for about $15 a piece now. Now on the second print, I don't know if there's perhaps less. Let me see if I can pull up any numbers on this variant real quick. Okay, so they're saying second print high, a high grade copy is somewhere in the. Sorry, that's my mom calling. So checking in on me. Yeah, these second prints are going for. It's saying about high grade copy about $20 on the second print. So I bought that for cover price. These books are still out there for cover price. So Cole, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Happy New Comic Book Day to you. I'm just sorting through. I just went through some of my new Comic Book Day stuff, and then here's a few of the back issue, like relatively new but back issue books that I picked up. I've been kind of these High Republic books I've been kind of looking out for those. So, but yeah, second print seems to be selling a little higher than the first print. And in issue 7 anyway, you've got first appearance of Orla Jareni, a Jedi Knight and Wayseeker. And you also have first appearance of Darth Krall. So that, this might be a good one to have. That's Darth Krall on the cover, by the way. Now, it's not his first cover appearance, but it's kind of cool, to have him on there on the cover. Brian, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. Whoa, look at you. We got some, what's going on?
Hey, I saw your link there, so I thought I'd pop in.
I appreciate it. How was your new comic book day?
It was good. I got a bunch of comics, and then I went and had coffee with some friends. Do you know Comics with Bueller with Travis?
Yeah.
This is his. Today was his last Wednesday hanging out at Mocha Express, so I went over there.
That was
nice. Pretty good.
Very nice.
And then I'm always happy when I catch you live. You have it cheers me up just to see you show your comics. So
thank you for that.
I'd pop in.
I'm going to follow the lead of people you're the third person to tell me that in the last week about like, hey, you need to do more live. Cause my concern is the length of the videos.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's typically if you jump in and you participate, I think people who are involved live enjoy I think they enjoy it.
Right. If you catch something live, it's really great.
Yeah, it's fun.
But then it's too long. If you come afterwards, you tend to just watch part of it or something.
And I'll still try to, over coffee in the mornings before I get ready for work, I'll still try to, maybe I'll chop those up and catch them bits and pieces until I can get to the end of some of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's this is a first for us, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, first time meeting. I've been watching you a while and enjoying it. So
you're soothing. So your voice is very soothing. So I enjoy watching your stuff too. When you go and you're very detailed when you go through and talk about your reviews or go through
Hmm.
books that you're reading. I enjoy that. You're very
Oh,
detailed.
thanks,
So that,
thanks.
yeah, that's wonderful.
Everyone has their own approach. I just say whatever comes out, and that's the way I do
Yeah, no,
it.
yeah, no editing. It's easier that way to me. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't. I
really. Yeah, I just let it roll. Let's just
Yeah,
let it
yeah.
fly and see what happens. So that's yeah, I agree, Brian. That's it's really good. So Damien, do you want to show anything that you picked up?
Sure, sure. Let me
I would
see.
love to yeah, let me
This is my comic book holder. If I can, I put comics in there when I'm traveling around.
oh, and it's velcroed on so you
It's
can
velcroed on. It's made to hold comic books.
that's
This one
perfect.
has a Spawn on it, but you can get all kinds of these things.
The Amazing Fantasy 15 homage.
Yes, an
That's
homage there.
wonderful.
Let's see. I'm not sure if I caught everything you've shown. Do you get Adventure Man?
I did not.
Uh-huh. I really like this series. It's kind of weird. It's like an homage to Doc Savage pulp type of things.
Okay. All right.
But this female character, I'm not sure which one on the cover, has become the incarnation of a male pulp character called Adventure Man.
Huh.
And it's by Matt Fraction and Terry Dodson. So
I like Matt Fraction.
it always has some nice artwork. So anyway, that's one thing I got. Let's see what else is
And
interesting.
that was issue 8, so they're 8 issues in, so it may
There are 8 issues in, yeah.
it
And
may not be difficult to go back and try to piece it together a little bit if I want to
yeah,
get
I don't think it would be expensive to find the back issues, or they have I believe they have a hardback trade that's
okay.
like oversized. And then do you get Dark Knights of Steel?
I haven't, but
This is
everybody's
one of my
talking about
favorites.
it. Everybody's talking about it. I probably need to go back and do that one too because I did enjoy. I've the DC books that people have recommended to me. I've really enjoyed. I
Mhm.
kind of tend to migrate to. Wow, look at that, man! Look at that
Yeah.
color.
Beautiful art in this
Vibrant.
one. You tend to migrate towards Marvel?
Marvel a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I used to migrate towards Marvel, or I used to lean towards Marvel, but at some point I just sort of I had so much Marvel in my head that it was actually more fun to do DC, which I knew less about.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I kind of feel that way about Star Wars. I thought I was a big Star Wars fan. That's great, man. I really like that. I need to go back and do that because I've had. That's one that when people who do these shows, that's a book they're showing every month.
yeah,
So
when a wide variety of people are liking the same book, it's a good one to check out.
right, right. So anything else?
Let me see. I'm just trying to think of what's the most exciting things I had. Picked up a lot of comics.
Heads up, JD. Good to see you, man.
I picked up, speaking of Marvel, I picked up this new Doctor Strange, or Strange. It's not Doctor Strange anymore. I guess it's
Right.
Clea. And I really liked the Death of Doctor Strange miniseries, so I thought I'd give this a try.
Yeah, I picked up that one as well. And then I saw two of the other covers.
Oh, you want to make yourself bigger so we can see it? There we go.
Yeah, so the J. Scott Campbell
Oh,
cover.
that's a very nice cover.
And then I also picked up the Art Germ cover.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I thought that was that really nice looking. And it was just a regular it was just a cover B.
Regular price.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
was,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
So that was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, anything else, man? Anything else you
Okay. I mean, I got a lot here, but
how many books did you buy this week?
I haven't even counted them yet. I went to 2 shops, and so
Okay.
that's a mistake to go to multiple shops, because even though I go there saying, well, there's just 1 or 2 at the second shop I want, I always end up getting even more.
Yeah, and I end up
and sometimes I go to 3 shops because they're all within walking distance of my house.
wow.
I got The Thing.
Okay.
I love the character The Thing, so Even though, like I said, sometimes I feel like I have too much Marvel in my head. If there's a Thing series, I need to give it a shot.
Were you
This
in
has
on
not
that?
been too exciting though.
That looks like the cartoon I remember from
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's like the undetailed cartoon version.
right.
Yeah, but I'm sticking with it. It's just a mini series. So
Yeah, I agree, JD. That I like that one. That J. Scott Campbell's really cool. There were some cool covers this week. Some really cool covers.
let's see. Hell Cop.
I've heard of that. I didn't. I'm not pulling that one.
It's fine. It's good. I enjoy it. It's got kind of weird computer art.
Mm.
But it's a kind of fun mystery story where they travel to another dimension that's strangely like hell.
Huh. I like when you do your reviews. I like that you consider all aspects of the book. So it's the
Right, the
writing.
writing, the
Everything
art,
has
the
to touch
color.
on. Yeah, it's got all. Everything's got to hit a certain level for it to really make your top book.
Right,
And I
right.
appreciate that. It's not just the story. It's not just and it's certainly not just the art. But all those things have to
Yeah,
really
they
line up.
all
Well.
have to hit me right.
Right, exactly.
Or one of them has to be so strong that it overcomes the other things. But
Right, yeah.
part of it I realize is, I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years, and the more I talk about comics, the more I start thinking about them, right? So I wasn't really thinking about color when I started this channel, but after I kept talking about comics, I started noticing the color more and more, and started getting the urge to talk about it more.
It evokes an emotion. I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely, you feel something. You feel a certain way, and I think a good story can we were talking about this. I was talking about this last week. A good story can override mediocre art, but I don't think the
Other way
opposite is
around.
true. Yeah.
Right.
Um, but
Sometimes fantastic art can make an okay story much better. But if the
right.
story totally sucks, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And somebody, God, I can't remember the book now. Somebody, one new comic book day show I watched last week, they pulled a book that has no words whatsoever. The story is completely told through.
I got that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, there were 2 last week like that.
Okay.
I still have my last week's pile here. Were they talking about? They probably were talking about the other one, but there was King Jira, which is a one shot, a wordless one shot
It
about.
wasn't. I don't recognize that cover, so I don't think it was that one.
It's about a Godzilla monster looking for pizza. But then there's a more serious one, which I think is an ongoing. This one, I have the variant cover, Step by Bloody Step.
That was it.
And
Yeah.
this one is, it was like 48 pages long, and it was 0 dialogue, and you just had to figure out what was going on. And it's kind of a fantasy story.
Have you read that and given your synopsis yet?
Yeah, I just last night put up a video where I talked
Okay,
about
cool.
all of these books.
That'll be my morning.
Yeah.
I was when somebody I thought of that when they mentioned that. I said, I wonder what Damien would think about that.
It's kind of a pretty. It's pretty to look at.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the story. I don't know. It's hard to tell a story without words at all.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but there may be a novelty factor or something going on.
Right. Well, and it seems like more and more I can get 3 or 4 issues in and still not be entirely sure what's going on some of these books. It's like they don't make it easy sometimes. So.
It's frustrating because it's like they're writing for the trade, I guess, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Or in this case, not writing for the trade. Yeah. No words, but
so you have to it's I don't know. Hopefully, it's not that. You don't want to create hype because it's a gimmick. It still has to be a quality product.
Exactly.
The gimmick can be cool, but it's still got to have good bones. It's got to have something to offer. So, all right. Anything else you want to share? Anything else you?
I got Cowboy Bebop #2.
Okay. Have you read the first one?
I liked but did not love the first one, so this one's kind of like I'm just being greedy that I want a lot of comics, so I grabbed it off the shelves. Last issue was quite cool, so maybe thanks for telling us Step by Bloody Step is 4 issues.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good to know. And this one called Manor Black by Colin Bunn.
Okay.
And some good art in it too. It's kind of a horror story about a family, I think somewhere in the South, maybe Louisiana, I'm not sure, who is like this magical family, and then this other girl comes along who has magic. I don't know. I can't figure out what the plot of this one is yet either.
Well, hopefully a good story. Colin Bunn does a good job. So,
and a new one from Mike Mignola called Radio Spaceman.
I've always liked his art.
A Dark Horse comic. Oh, you know what? It's not his art on the inside, although it looks like good art. I thought it was going to be his art.
So did he?
I guess he wrote it.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, script Mike Mignola, art Greg Hinkle. I don't know. It may or may not be good. I think it says 1 of 2. It's just 2 issues.
Well, yeah, you can stick around for 2 at least. So that's
might as well. Have you heard of Newburn?
Yes, that's another one that people have been talking about. What are I like Chip Zdarsky.
The first 3 issues were good. The first 3 issues were one arc, and it ended kind of abruptly. But other than that, it was very good.
Okay.
And yeah, I like Chip Zdarsky, and the art's pretty good. It's the son of Sean Stewart, Jacob.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, son of Sean Phillips, Jacob Phillips.
Okay.
Sean Phillips from Criminal and those kind of books.
Right.
This is getting more obscure. The Wrong Earth from Ahoy Comics.
Huh.
It's kind of a spoof on Batman. So there's these characters called Dragonfly that are like Batman from different universes, and they keep switching universes between them. So I think in this one they go to a kind of Archie universe.
It looks very Archie, yeah, for sure.
So it's called The Wrong Earth Trapped on Teen Planet.
Huh. Brian said he dropped Newburn.
He dropped Newburn. Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know whether he dropped it because he didn't like it, or sometimes you just drop things because you've had enough and you want to try other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely on a roll of buying a little bit too much because it gets hard to read it all in 1 week. One Star Squadron from DC, which is also more a spoof of superheroes than a serious superhero comic, where all the superheroes work for this Heroes for Hire type of company.
Gotcha. So basically the same comment that you said, that he didn't like the way the first arc wrapped up. So he was kind of over it.
Yeah, I came close to saying, okay, that was enough of that at the end of there, but I thought I'd give it another try. And here's another Colin Bunn one called The Last Book You'll Ever Read, about a woman who's written a book about, it's a horror novel. She's written a book about civilization falling apart, and it looks like her book is causing civilization to fall apart.
Huh. That's what issue is that? Is that a mini or?
It is issue 5, and I'm not sure. It's a Vault comic, and those are usually minis, but it says to be continued at the end. I'm actually an issue or 2 behind on reading this one.
Okay. It said that he was going to do one and done stories, so you can pick up issue 4 and not be lost, for example. All right. Okay. Well,
yeah, it might be. It might be better in the trade anyway.
Right.
Because certainly the first three issues were all one story.
Right.
If you like crime stories, I think it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm doing. I actually didn't have that many indies this week, but I have been. I've been mindful when people, kind of like we were talking about earlier. Folks recommend certain things, so I'm doing the matter regarding Oswald's body.
Yes, yeah.
I'm reading that one. That's been interesting. Oh gosh, what's the furthest place from here? That one's still. I'm
Mhm.
still kind of curious about that, but I wanted to. I want to see some. I want to see something happen. But there's
Yeah,
several. Then I read Swamp Thing was my probably the first recent, first DC book I bought in a while, and that was that Rom V Swamp Thing run. So I've enjoyed
I
that.
heard great things about that.
It's really good, and I mean, I guess that was a pretty. I guess that was kind of the feedback they were getting is that, hey, well, it was good enough that once I picked up issue 9, it said issue 9 of 10. And
Yeah.
then I got issue 10 and it said issue 10 of 16.
Oh,
So,
that's a very good sign for good
yeah,
sales and such.
yeah, they must have been doing pretty well. So I've got a few more of these. This is mostly like Star Wars back issues. I
Ah,
like I was saying, I would like to think that I'm a Star Wars fan, but there's people who have just like read like all the Dark Horse stuff, and it's hard for
right.
me even to see, like, all right, where does this story take place in the timeline? So I actually printed out a timeline so I can figure out where
Uh-huh.
I'm going because I mean, this High Republic stuff takes place. I think they said 150 years prior to the like the first
The
movie and the
prequels
yeah. So
prior to the first trilogy.
right. And then they're going to do another one that takes place 150 years prior to that. So I'm like,
Oh.
when you bounce around, it's easy to
So it's
kind of
like
get lost.
this timeline keeps expanding more and more to
Right.
keep track of.
Yeah. Well, I think the more dollar signs they see, the more it's going to continue to expand. They'll just continue to milk it as much as they can. But this was actually a second print of issue 7, and it's the first appearance of Darth Crawl. Well, it's not
Uh-huh.
his first. It's the first appearance in the magazine. That's him or in the book. That's him on the cover, but this is not his first cover appearance. There was I think Mike Mayhew did a variant of this book that has Darth Crawl. But second prints, I mean, that was back in the 80s, we scoffed at second prints, but
Right.
now it's like there's people who seek them out and collect them because the run is potentially
Right, because there's a shorter print run of them or something, so there's
right,
less of them. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I think the last
There's
book of
all
all
different ways to slice how you view your collecting, I
right,
guess,
exactly. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, even though the inside is the
is the
same, a lot
same.
of times they'll
Right.
take these, do some different covers.
Well, and people
So
you can get fascinated by multiple covers and, all the different minutia.
right,
Are
right.
you do you, recommend the High Republic series as a read?
I have basically been stacking this so I can just
Oh,
read it. I
okay.
want to binge read it.
I see.
So
So you don't know yet whether to
I'm not
recommend it.
sure. I'll have to report back on that. I know
I
some
was hearing
people.
good stuff for the first few issues, and then I haven't been paying enough attention, but
Yeah, I think it was, some people I look up to, I guess, as Star Wars fans because they've really got their finger on the pulse of what's going on. Some have enjoyed it, some have, been whatever and dropped it. But I just I wanted to get it and read it so because I know it's going to be a show. I mean,
yeah.
it's definitely going to happen. They're doing a live action show, so this was and so I'm trying to like pick up some of these first appearances of these
Mhm.
characters. So this is issue 10, and this one is first full appearance of Lorna D. So she is a um, she actually works for she's associated with a character in High Republic Adventures called Marcion Rowe, and he is that guy. So they've kind of tied them
Uh-huh.
two together. He's a kind of an intimidating character.
It'll be interesting to see what these people look like when they have the TV show compared to
Right.
the comics.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I picked up a couple of those because first appearances of these guys will start eventually they'll get out of hand like everything
Right,
else
right.
does.
You might as well either get them now for investment or get them now so you don't have to pay for them later.
Right. So
whichever way you like to cut it.
since Marshawn Rowe was that this was his first appearance, so I picked up 2 of those. And at cover price, I mean, they'll start kind of getting out of hand. But
Right.
I think
Yeah.
he's an important character, so I wanted to grab this one. So this
Nice.
is issue 2 of High Republic Adventures.
Oh, right. So one's by IDW and one's by Marvel. I keep
Right,
forgetting that.
exactly. And then this has spiked. I don't have this one pulled up. I'm trying to let me pull it up real quick just so I can share the info. But let's see.
I agree with Thygo Thigpada, however you say his name, when he says, can't imagine how Colin Bunn writes so many books. It is kind of mind blowing with Colin Bunn.
Yeah, I was just reading an article about him. He was, yeah, it's tough to keep up. But I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he's a tireless worker and that's his
Yeah.
outlet. And that's
he must be working very hard. Yeah.
So. All right. So this one is High Republic Adventures Annual #1. And this is the first full appearance of Bel Zettifar. He's a Jedi Padawan.
Huh.
So there's some speculation that he'll be an important character in that. This
Cool.
this is the cover A, and there's also a cover B that this one has actually 4. Yeah, there's 4 first appearances in this book. I think he's probably the most prominent. But if you look this book up on eBay, it's really spiking. I mean, it's like $25 plus. And I was just digging in recent back issues, and one of my LCSs had it sitting there. So I was like, well,
you lucked out that they didn't know.
I had to jump on it. Now the cover price was $7.99, but it is because
it's an annual, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a really thick book. But yeah, that was
and I assume the IDW ones are on better paper than the Marvel ones.
That's yes, you would be you would be correct. I don't know how I tell you what, that's what another recommendation for Tylox gave me was he said, "Man, you ought to read Gunslinger Spawn." And I hadn't bought Spawn in forever. And so I started picking it up, and it just feels good thumbing through it. You got
yes, it's such good quality.
Pages are thicker, and thanks, JD. Yeah, I thought so too, man. That was a good find. But it just feels good. That's part of the sense. You touching on all the senses when you're reading a book. I think that's
very true. Yeah. Todd McFarlane is not going to stint on his stuff, which is, a big hats off to him.
Yeah, he's done that. He's kept the price down.
I know. He's just giving us a good deal compared to everyone else.
We appreciate it, Todd, if you're watching. Or if you're watching on the rewind, thank you.
I'm sure Todd will be watching.
Absolutely. But that, or really, so the quality of the paper, the cover price, so you get a higher quality for less. It's not even, you could justify the same price, but it's actually less. And then he's not doing second prints, or he's not reprinting anything. So
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they stopped that a couple of months ago.
I've been getting Gunslinger Spawn also. It also has really nice art.
Oh man.
And I think that artist, Brett Booth, he's a good artist, but I think this is the best art I've ever seen by him. He's really putting his heart into it.
It's really good. JD, you thinking that Todd's not going to be watching this? Is that what what the laughing is about? Is that what you're telling me? Yes, I agree. And the thing I look forward to most when I read that book is the anticipation of turning a page, and boom, it's a full page spread with just so much going on, and it's very well done. So that's the other thing, is that Todd McFarlane's not gonna. I think he likes to control he seems like the type that might
Yeah.
be able to control what's going on, but
Right.
he'll relinquish it if he knows it's in good hands. So I think he probably
Yeah.
feels like the artists he has working because then somebody said, "Hey, if you like Gunslinger Spawn, you need to get King Spawn." So then I had to start going through and pulling King Spawn. Um, I've enjoyed the art on both of those, and it's good to yeah.
I
He expects a a good quality product. And,
right. I mean, I can't complain about that kind of demandingness, right?
right,
It's
yeah,
in our favor
it's quality control. You want to
from all
maintain a
angles.
good
Yeah.
product, and yeah, so that's very nice. So do you have anything? I appreciate you jumping on with me, man.
I
It
could show
was
you more stuff if you want.
please, yeah, please do, man. We got some folks still hanging out, and
So, like I said, I had coffee with Travis and John Stout, who's kind of doesn't have his own channel yet, but hangs out a lot on
yeah,
YouTube.
I see John in the chats every once in a
And
while.
so every time we get together, Bueller gives us more presents. Travis gives us more presents. I never know whether to call him Travis or Bueller. It's confusing. Um, so he gave me a couple of things here. Let's see. Oh, I also got this. I don't think it was from this week, but I got What's the Furthest Place from Here, number 4. I'm a couple of issues behind on this, but I definitely I want to like it. We'll see if it all makes sense to me in the end.
Yeah, I think each issue on that one has had just enough of a cliffhanger for me to stay hooked.
Right.
So I'm into and I'm not sure how long that one's going, but I'm
Yeah, I'm
along
not
for the
sure
ride.
either. I'm assuming it's a shorter run, but we'll see. Um, so he gave me this guide to comic book collecting because
Reggie,
he had an
yeah,
extra copy. It's from Reggie Collects.
yeah.
I was not familiar with it actually because I don't watch Reggie Collects anymore. Um, but I
Well,
it's this is
is
a
that
fun thing to have. This is a neat like
yeah, that Hulk homage.
souvenir of the
That's
YouTube world, right?
sure, yeah. Well, that's
Um,
yeah. You can get big enough that eventually can produce.
right.
That's and I
And I
think
like
that
the cover homage on there. Is cool.
absolutely, yeah. I think that's the second print.
Is there a second print? Wow.
Yeah, so the first one went super quick, and then he's got a pretty big following.
Right, I know he does. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't feel bad having stopped watching him in terms of supporting him, but I have nothing against him. It's just sort of
well, it's got to be in
I
your wheelhouse, I mean, if
I
it's
had to choose some channels to cut, and I decided to cut him.
sure,
I mostly cut a few bigger channels. Um, anyway, I'm really glad to have this and that I got it for free. And then I don't know what this is, but he gave me these kids comics, Stanley the Snowman. So I haven't opened this up yet. It's a sub label of Scout Comics called Scoot. So there's Stanley the Snowman and Soulstream. I'm assuming they sent these to Travis for free, and he's passing them on to me as he's clearing out all his stuff to leave town. And then this is funny. He
yeah.
knows I like Conan,
So
so he gave. Oh, sorry.
Bueller
Go
did
ahead.
mention that he said, I get stuff all the time, and I end up giving a lot of it away just because
Right.
it's stuff that he's not maybe if he's not interested in reading or whatever. So I now we get to peer behind the curtain and see who is the
Yeah.
beneficiary of some of those.
Ever since I went, the very first time I went to visit his house, he gave me stuff. Every time I see him, he gives me things. He loves giving presents, I guess. He's just he's just someone who's very generous in general.
Yeah,
Well, as you know, he did fantastic things for Sam's family with that auction, but he'd done a whole lot more stuff that's behind the scenes too.
and he's repping Sam on his bus too. That's cool. That's the
Right. Yes, that's very cool.
so it's from
It's
Comic Tom Mystery Box. So I guess that
oh, so this was like an exclusive Comics Tom version.
that's cool.
So he probably already had his own copy, so he gave me this one. Plus, I mean, he's just having to clear everything away now. But the irony, so he knows I like Conan, so he gave me these 3 Conan sagas, but I gave these to Sam. And
so it's made it. It's come full circle.
It's circled back around to me. Because Sam and I and Herminio were doing a Conan a comic show once, and so I gave both of them some Conan issues that I thought were interesting to look at, and so these ones have come back to me. I think I have spare copies, so I'll have to find someone else to pass them.
Is that a reprint of the magazine, or is what it?
It's a variety. So yeah, Conan Saga is all reprints, so you're right on that. But the first few issues were black and white reprints of the original Barry Smith color comics. And then they moved on to reprinting various stuff from Savage Sword. So, here's the stuff from Savage Tales number 2 and 3, which is some of the best Barry Smith art, in my opinion, which is why I wanted to give it to Sam. And then one of these other ones, this one has, I think the reason I gave it to Sam is because it has a Neil Adams doing Conan.
Okay.
So these were kind of highlights, which I gave to Sam before we talked about Conan.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then he gave me this, I don't know where he got this giant size hardback of something called Squarriors, which I think, is this like a Kickstarter kind of thing, or it's from Devil's Due, actually.
Okay. That cover's neat. It's got like the matte finish of the book, but then the hand print is a glossy.
It's got the gloss, and I think inside there's the face of a squirrel, kind of.
Huh.
So I think it's one of these animals as warriors kind of comics, and it looks painted. So I've heard the name Squarriors, but I can't remember what I heard about it. So anyway, I thought that was cool of him to give me.
Very nice.
I think that about covers it. Yeah, I think that's everything I hauled today. That's a lot.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Mueller's he's to have as big a following as he does seem like a very down to earth person.
Right.
And I think I commented in one of his videos. I watched the replay on it, and I said, well, if you find yourself in South Carolina, give me a shout and let me know. It would be cool. It's cool what he's embarking on. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm sure he will eventually get there. He's figuring it out as he goes along, I think. But
right.
Excuse me. What else was I going to say about him? I was going to say anyway. Oh, I think he combines the qualities of the more casual comics community with, he kind of has a natural showbiz leaning. Like, he thinks that way. He thinks about what will work as a video.
Yeah.
You can see him when you're talking to him. He's thinking of new ideas of what to do and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm in it just for the casual conversation. I don't really want to do show business, but I impressed by his ability to think that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's definitely paid off. I think I am too. I didn't realize that the last video, because I typically will do unboxing videos, and each one of these represents a future show. So,
so you're well stocked for more shows.
Well, and the thing I realized was I need to not, if I'm going to do this, I need to not buy books of things I'm currently reading, because then I have to go out. I know it's in one of these boxes. So I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm just going to the LCS. I'll pick up the one so I can keep on, because I don't want to, it's kind of paused some of my reading, because I didn't even think about, hey, you might have 9 boxes stacked up behind you with something you're waiting on an issue 2 of something that's sitting behind you. So,
so you're saving them to do on live shows, or are you going to do them on shows where you record it ahead?
They're all going to be live from here on out.
I see. So you need to space them out then.
Yeah, forget trimming down, trying to do 20-minute videos and all that stuff. I'm just going to I've had, like I said, you're the third person who mentioned that. I appreciate the kind words and everything. It was I enjoy doing the live thing. I enjoy interacting with the chat and having people pop in and pop on just randomly, unplanned, and you know, and so I'll be it'll be live. I'll do live. I really prefer that. Um, I think I was overthinking to some degree. Like, hey, I really need to I need some like 10-minute videos. Keep
Right.
the number down. And I don't know. I probably like to talk too much and enjoy hanging out with people. This is a good little hangout. You
Yeah,
can
me
go
too.
there.
I talk too much. I can't do short
Right.
videos.
Yeah. So just be who you are
Exactly.
and keep right on rolling. So well,
I
since you
think that's
told
the
me,
great thing about a hobby is where you get to be what you want, who you are.
sure, yeah, and it can
You're not
be
at work or something where you have to be what other people want you to be.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, well, that was awesome, man. I appreciate you hopping in and hanging out. That was fantastic. And I will. So now that I know reviewed, you've just dropped a review. That's going to be
Yeah.
my morning coffee tomorrow will be. I'll be listening to that while I'm enjoying my
Okay. Well, cool.
morning coffee. So I always, and if anybody is in the chat and hasn't checked out Damien, Sleepy Reader 666. Go check him out. He's got some fantastic content over there and a really good comic book brothers. So we've definitely got a good community. So
Yeah, we do. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it a long time, and the community's kind of gone up and down, and it's really become a good community in the last 3 years or so. When did you drop in?
so I started about a year ago. My oldest
Okay.
nephew said, "Hey, why don't we start collecting comics again and we'll do it together?" So me and two of my nephews kind of collect together. Although I went down this rabbit hole of YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff. But so I was using a business account for I'm in real estate, so I was just using my real
Okay.
estate YouTube account, and I think people started. All
Thank you.
right, awesome, awesome. I agree. Um, so once I realized, I was like, hey, you need to, this is you know, once I started really getting into it and watching the videos, I was like, all right, just make this will be your fun account. Do this fun thing on the side. So,
Mhm.
so but that's my first video was 5 months ago.
Okay.
So I had been, I started collecting. I was kind of working my way down the rabbit hole, and eventually ended up where, at least, try to do a couple of videos a week. But yeah, so you've been almost 10 years, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I made a lot of friends. I mean, even though I said it's gone up and down, but I have friends that I'm still in touch with that go back to the beginning. Um, in fact, that there's that live show I do, which don't blame anyone for not watching because we go on for like 3 hours. But those people that I do the live show with, we've all been doing it for 9 or 10 years.
Wow,
We've known each other a long time.
that is
So
awesome.
it's amazing that you can. I mean, I'm an old guy that you can make friends on the internet by
Sure,
putting out
yeah.
videos. It's kind of
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
Maybe I'll go. I'm gonna go to your channel and scroll all the way back to the farthest video I can get to and see what that looks
Yeah,
like.
you can see what I was like 10 years ago. I definitely aged,
It's it's like a yeah,
and I
it's like
have better microphones now.
for sure, yeah, I'm sure. Well, Damien, I appreciate you coming on with
Thank
me,
you.
man. Wonderful. I'll be checking out your stuff. Everybody, if you're watching this on the in the chat and aren't following Damien or watching it on the rewind, go check him out.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy, great comic book. Just a good all around guy. But his reviews are top notch. So make sure you check it out.
And you're awesome at doing live shows. I loved your shows from the first time I stumbled across them. I don't
Thank you, man.
Probably 3 months ago or something. I'm not sure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So thanks a lot. Thank all you guys for joining us. Have a fantastic rest of your new comic book day and have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.